Welcome to Stories After Midnight. Today we'll be reading a story from a collection of stories called 54 Sleepless Nights. This particular story is called For the Right Price. This collection is written by Tobias Wade, and if you'd like these stories, you can pick up yourself a copy from Amazon. Links will be in the description of this video and podcast episode. I really hope you enjoy it. And if you do end up picking up yourself a copy, I'd love to know, because I'd like to say thank you for supporting this author. Let's get started. People who drink alcohol know they're ingesting poison. The only honest justification for this I've heard is that there's something inside of them they're trying to kill. I guess I must be the opposite, because alcohol never gave me that satisfaction. Instead, it feels more like there's something dead inside that I'm trying to bring back to life. I haven't felt much of anything since my divorce, but I was willing to give anything to try to break out of that cold, empty place. Maybe something exotic, I told the man leaning against the dirty brick wall at the back of the bar. He had a crumpled baseball cap pulled low over his eyes, but I could tell from his contemptuous sneer that he could sense my desperation. What are my options anyway? Depends how much you got, the man said. He tried to keep a straight face, but the edges of his smile kept flickering upward, taunting me with his power over me. I'd never bought drugs before, but I knew how negotiating worked, and I wasn't about to fall for that trap. I'm asking, what you have for sale? For the right price, everything. A chicken sandwich? I shot back. $24.99, he replied without hesitation. For a sandwich? Plus the value of my time to retrieve it, everything is for sale, but a clever client will only buy things they can't get for themselves. How much to be happy? I asked jokingly, trying to catch his eye and get a better read on him. He seemed to sense this, and obligingly pushed the cap back on his head. His dark eyes were hard, focused and uncompromising. You can't afford it, but I can do you the next best thing. I can make your ex-wife miserable. Yeah? And how much are we talking here? I looked around, my guilty conscience playing tricks on me in the shadows. $400 to humiliate her in front of her new boyfriend. Wait a second. How do you even know? Stop you right there, he interrupted, pulling the hat low again. Sources and methods are strictly confidential. Bad for business, you understand. Half up front, half after I've shown you proof that I've succeeded. Without a doubt, the best $400 I have ever spent. I don't know what type of high I was expecting walking into that place, but it couldn't compare with the giddy delight seeing the pictures he showed me 2 days later. I can't imagine how he did it, but it turns out I wasn't the only one my ex was cheating on. The first picture showed her and her new boyfriend sitting together on the couch inside their home. Then a series of sexually vulgar chat conversations she'd been having with 2 other people, and then pictures of her and her boyfriend screaming at each other in the living room. The pictures as clear as if he'd been standing right beside them. Finally, a shot of her, hair a mess, diving into a tub of ice cream with mascara running down her face. Thanks, that's exactly what I needed, I said, paying the man the rest of his due. Come back tomorrow and I'll have something else you need, he promised. I thought I was ready to move on and didn't expect to be back again, but that night I got a call from my ex. Honestly, I'm not sure whether it was guilt or a sadistic desire to be a voyeur to her distress that made me answer, but I wish I hadn't. She might not have known for sure I was behind the incident at first, but then she started yelling and threatening me, and before I knew it, we were screaming at each other again, just like old times. She was going to call my boss, my parents, the police, anything to get back at me. She was going to make up lies and accuse me of the most vile filth imaginable. I was so angry I almost smashed my phone on the counter when I hung up. I lay awake all night after that, flushed and hot and angry, dreading the prospect of explaining my innocence again and again to those she poisoned against me. It was only the prospect of the man at the bar that got me through those hours, knowing only he could deliver what I needed to escape her for good. Make it look like an accident, I said. 9,000. He wasn't even making the pretext of hiding his grin. I ground my teeth together. It was still cheaper than losing my job and having to hire a lawyer. And make it hurt, I added, mentally calculating how much I could afford. 9,500. She is terrified of snakes. 11,250. It has to be today before she can cause trouble. 16,750. I took a long, deep breath. Was it really worth it? I could get a new car for that, but a new car wouldn't make me happy. A new car wouldn't give me a new life like this would. And that might have been the end of it if I hadn't just gotten off the phone with the man. I was expecting a confirmation or an update, but instead he said, "It's actually going to be 18,000 now. Maybe more." "What changed?" I demanded. "I sell everything to everyone." "So what? We had a deal." "It isn't a sale anymore. It's an auction, and she's a competitive bidder." I guess I should have just settled for the chicken sandwich. That's the end of the story. I really hope you enjoyed that little twist at the end. If you did, let me know in the comments below, wherever you can, and leave a like on this video. And if you can like this podcast episode, well, I'd love that too, because these platforms, well, they need to share this stuff so people like you can listen to these stories. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you did, consider coming over and saying hi in the Discord. We'd love to see you. And if you want to send me your story, head over to storiesaftermidnight.com, where you can find a link to do just that. Anyways, I appreciate you for being here. We'll see you in the next one.